Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Sadiq, on this fine, beautiful Sunday. And to those of y'all who I was reading the comment, who celebrate Easter, happy Easter to you. And all of that. I should say the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always try to do better. I'd like to also say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are the other side of the conversation, you are family. And sometimes I share the link. If I share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And if you're not comfortable, you can go back to that, especially if I've never seen you on here before. I must see your face. Also, in the comment section, it's not that we disagree, it is how we disagree. So let's be as respectful as possible. Also, the same thing here on the panel. Now, I know sometimes we talk about things that kind of, are double-sided and all that. That's fine. But we, need to do our best to have a most civil and adult conversation as possible. So today we're going to be talking about an older actress by the name of Tracy Ellis Ross, saying that she prefers dating younger men because older ones are toxic. Now, listen, I'm not talking about this to be divisive. I'm talking about it because I think it deserves a conversation, especially among people who are in our age group. And so maybe people who are not. Well, I say 50 and older. And regardless of how old you are, I think everybody can learn, hopefully, from this conversation. So again, it's not to be divisive or anything like that. I just want to gauge an understanding as to why it's a big deal. I saw this over the last couple of days, a whole host of people posting it. I will say, admittedly, it was a bunch of men that I saw posted, maybe some women. And I didn't understand why they were seemingly upset. And so today I said, okay, I'll bite. I looked into it and I said, really? And I'm going to show y'all the clip that I saw and we can have a conversation about that. But in the meantime, before I give it to Donovan, who is on here, let's see. Facts Not Feeling, we were in the same room for like 2.2 seconds together by ourselves. Well, how you doing? Yeah, I was logical thinking, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is on here. Facts Not Feeling, I read your comment. Brother Don, my triple OG moderator, and thank you to all the moderators. You rock. You all do a great job of holding the comment section down. Love and appreciate you. Sister Shirley, what's going on? Mike, nice. How are you? Monet, hope you're doing well. Ernest, I hope you're doing well as well. Arneva, how are you? Sister Sunlight, how are you? Christina, I hope you're doing well. It said just got home from work. Blessings, everyone. And blessings to you. Walt, what's going on with you? So Demetra, does this subject hit close to home? Not really. I'm indifferent, honestly. But we'll get into it. Joel off chief. How you doing? Hope you're well. So Donovan, what say you?
All right. For those of you guys that celebrated, happy Easter. I hope you guys had fun. If you guys have children, grandchildren, I hope they found the great Easter egg hunt and you guys had a really good time out there. Easter is the time that he has risen. And I hope you guys really got together with your families and kind of reflected on things. And hopefully things will continue to be blessed, right? Right. So, hey, do us a favor, you guys. If you guys want to continue these great conversations, there is a banner at the bottom of this link right here. And you can see, you can go to PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, money orders, cash order, however you guys want to do it. It does take time and effort to make these great conversations, and not all of the money, but your contribution helps the content creator. Also, don't forget, Brother Phil is back from Africa, and he's getting ready to do the Black Expo in Columbus, Ohio, where you will see this person right next to me, Demetra K, live and in the flesh. So if you guys want to go over there and eat her lunch and call her out, because I'm going to be there to heckle and all that other stuff. So you'll see me I'll be like Roland Martin. I was in the audience, didn't say a damn thing, but I'll be in there doing all that great stuff. So the Black Expo in Columbus, Ohio, need some information on it. Go to Demetra K's Facebook page. You can come to my Facebook page. I post it every other day. So again, get your tickets. Go there. Not only are the African Diaspora crew is going to be there, Vicky Diller, Brother Phil Scott, Demetra K. You also get to see one of my favorite singers, New Orleans native, Tidra Moses, who had one of the most underappreciated albums of the 2000s, Complex Simplicity. The whole album was good. If you don't know who Tidra Moses is, she writes for a lot of artists. She's very popular with Raphael Sadiq, but she writes for a whole bunch of artists, and she is a phenomenal singer. And she is the mother of twin sons from rapper Ras Kass, if you guys know who rapper Ras Kass is. But she's been in the industry. She tours around. Great thing. Also, Floetry soloist Marsha Ambrosia, she will also be there as well. So please, you guys, Black Expo, Columbus, Ohio. So in conclusion, before we get out of here, don't forget the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can download it on Google Play, Apple Store. That way you can get continued great videos that you don't see on YouTube from Demetra K, Brother Phil Scott, the Emancipation Channel, and all over the African diaspora. So it's a great gift to give young people, even to give older people. I bought a few memberships for some relatives and some friends, older friends of mine, and they are like eating the stuff up because there's information that they never think about. Because unfortunately, the older we get, the more stuck in our ways we are, and we're not as open-minded. So a lot of these people have forgotten who they are, but it's a great knowledge base. African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play and the Apple Store. This is a very, very interesting topic, and I hope to hear a lot of you guys' suggestions. I want to give a big shout out to my man Buckhorse DC, always holding it down, giving me that support as I'm in here, two-piecing Demetra, in our conversations and all that other great stuff. So, Demetra, let's get into this conversation. I really do hope we get some insight on both sides of the coin.
Yes, indeed. So hello to everybody that's coming here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started for the sake of time. Of course, you guys may or may not have seen it. I've seen this conversation. Again, I was not paying any mind to it because I was like, okay, same old, same old. So today I had a little bit of time on my hands. I said, okay, I'll bite. What are they talking about? Why are they mad at Tracee Ellis Ross? Of course, you guys know Tracee Ellis Ross is an actress, producer, director. You guys might know her, might have kind of first saw her come on the scene playing in the series Girlfriends, which was a wildly popular show. Of course, you guys know her mother is Diana Ross, and her daddy is somebody I don't know. But nevertheless, she is 52 years old. Says she has a net worth between $16 to $20 million. So she's doing well for herself, I would say. Very beautiful, gorgeous woman. You guys saw her on the thumbnail. Of course, I'm going to show y'all a video in just a second. But she was on the former first lady Michelle Obama and her brother podcast is called and forgive me, I don't know her brother's name. Michelle's brother, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. It'll come to me. But they're having a podcast called In My Opinion, IMO. And so they have guests on, and Tracee Ellis Ross was a guest. And during the conversation that they were having a conversation about why she prefers to date younger men. And this is what she said. Hey, Brother Sammy, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. All right, so y'all ready? Here we go.
So that, because I had to ask myself that question. I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, so it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization, but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that there's times where I'll be sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Your chamber pot. Like, where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match. And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up.
Okay, so let me take her down. Of course, y'all heard what she said. Let me remove this here. Just to recap, she basically says that she felt like she was controlled and she was a possession when she was with older men. She did use the term toxic masculinity. which you guys know all about that. I hope you do. I don't know. And she says that there's a little bit more openness with younger men. She also said that she doesn't want to be in a position where she's teaching, I guess. And yeah, she likes to date younger men because of that. She says if anything feels more like toxic masculinity, she kind of runs away from that. She doesn't want to be there anymore. So let me see something really quick. Brenda, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm just make sure. I love my ad block. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Let me go back down. Let's see. Christina, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. CJ says, I love Diana Ross, a lady of grace and born on the best day ever. Which day is that? That must be your birthday as well. Dorothy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Lady Diana, your comment is the one that I said that I kind of chuckled. He says, haha, she is not dating younger men. She is having sex, and that is all. Now we may be getting somewhere. Facts, not feelings. She says, so what she's saying is she needs a good from time to time and don't need anything else. I don't know. Arneva, he says, oh, she puts her net worth out there to catch a stud. No, well, I put it out there just to kind of put it, to kind of give context as to maybe why she is saying that. Because she's with a man who she feels like maybe controlling her, and she's like, boo, I got my own money. I don't need you for that. You know what I mean? Of course, we could get into that. I don't know why she said it or whatever, but let me just keep on going. Just for a second. Brother Donnie says she hit that wall, but it sounds like she's saying that she don't want to be with a man that hit the wall. Oops. Brother Abdul, yes, I saw what you said about Easter. We ain't even talking about Easter, but I understand your sentiment nevertheless. Yes, I'm familiar with the history of Easter. He says, if she chooses to date a younger man, that's her business. Come on now. I love my ad block. It says she wants to dominate the male. That's why she wants a younger man. I don't know. Salam, how you doing? Says, was Diana Ross her mother? Yes, she is her mother, as Diana Ross is still with us. Sister Shirley said, I never understood why some women like younger men. The youngest man I ever dated was 3 years older than myself. Okay. T-Bone, what's going on with you? Says she wants an easy control simp. I don't know. Eric, how you doing? Says, these three are really backwards. Are you talking about Michelle? Craig is the brother's name, Craig, so forgive me. Max Phyllis says, wow, she is off the deep end. Really? Is she really? I don't know. I'm just asking questions, y'all. What makes her off the deep end? Brother Don says, but that's exactly what you're doing. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to skip down. Who else is on here? Your average logical thinker says, look at Donovan. He got that look ready to go in. We're going to see. All right, who else? Hey, Flavor, Genuine, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Marcella, how you doing? Jamarcus, what's going on with you above beyond forever? Says, when an older man dates a younger woman, everyone is mad. Yeah, Tracy says she prefers a younger man and gets supported. I don't know. Arneva says she wants control, but she never be satisfied in the long run. Hey, Gary, how you doing? Terry, what's going on with you? Michelle, how you doing? Says, didn't she date Akon? I don't know. Who believes in multiple wives. I would never date a younger man. He could never offer me nothing. And a remark about toxic masculinity, it's off-putting. Got you. Who else came on here? CC, how you doing? Says, older men don't want her because she has a bad attitude. She's just like the show she plays on. She just like that in real life. Melanated Mantra, how you doing? He says, Tracy Ellis Ross going through her 304 phase. She's 52, by the way. I just want to put that out there. Almost choked. Donovan?
Yeah, I'm reading the comments. Very interesting. You guys are coming up with some of the same comments Demetra and I talked about off air between the both of us. Like I said, everybody has an opinion about this. As a man, I always thought that women are considered a prize and they are something that should be kept and admired. That's just, and it's been like that from my understanding since the beginning of time. That's why a woman could be a felon and have a felony record, and she could be an outright just gangsta. But the one thing that can save her is that she could marry well. You could be raised as poor as you want to be as a woman, but you guys are walking around with a gold mine, so you could marry well and still come out of it. Whereas a man, it's a little different thing. So I kind of disagreed with her on that. But did you guys notice? And here's one thing I've noticed, and I'm trying to figure this out. Maybe you guys can help me, and maybe Demetra, you could help me, but I doubt it because Michelle Obama. I've noticed that women that are married seem to have a chip on their shoulder for some reason. Did you guys notice? Why would a woman or any person who's been married for a significant amount of time to their significant other, their spouse, want to give advice that is detrimental to the relationship between husband and wife? Did you see how she was like high-fiving what Tracy Ellis was saying? I would have been like, as an older woman or an older person, I would have been like, yeah, that's interesting, but it's almost like Michelle has a problem being married. And, and at least I picked that up. I don't know if you guys picked it up, but I can say this. If I picked it up, I'm very sure other people picked that up. And I noticed that when married people who seem to be miserable or whatever in their relationships, they stay for some reason and then want to give single people the worst advice, especially our girls, our women. So I just don't get where Michelle is coming with this vitriol about marriage. She's married, and she's like high-fiving, 304ing, and oh yeah, girl, and whatever. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, as far as Miss Tracy Ellis Ross, by the way, Diana Ross's older daughter is for Berry Gordy. Now, Diana Ross had 2 children with her husband, who was a white man, and I don't care what his situation is. They had 2 children there. Then she married that millionaire from Spain or whatever, and they had 2 children. So I believe Diana Ross has like 5 children. So again, Tracy Ellis Ross, phenomenal actress, can't take that away from her. But I do have this question. If I myself would say, I prefer to date younger women and blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you take the same context of what she said and reverse it to a man, everybody would be calling him a predator. Everybody would be calling him a groomer or some kind. I'm just amazed that when women do what is a negative connotation to a man, it's high-fived and it's totally acceptable. Like I said, I have no problem with her dating younger men. I have no problem. She wants to do that. You go do that. But it is proven. Show me a relationship in her world, in the entertainment world, where an older woman, other than Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, I'm going to take that out of the equation, but they never got married, dated a younger person, and everything is, copacetic, and she's living this happy life. No, when a woman does what a man usually does, the outcomes are totally different. They're just different. And I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but when a woman 304s, right, she's known as an H, correct? Oh, she's an H-in and she's 304 and whatever. When a man does it, he's just sowing his wild oats. I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying is society has put, parameters on things. Women can't do the exact same thing as men can do, and men can't do the same exact thing as women can do. I can't marry a rich woman without being called a gold digger, especially if I'm living off of her, right? And, these are just the roles of society. So just tell me what you guys think.
Yes, indeed. And hello to everybody that's come on here out there. And thank you for the compliment. I'm tongue-tied today. Compliments on my hair. And that's kind of why I didn't come on the last couple of days, because I had laryngitis really bad. So I was like, let me rest my voice. Let's see here. Baby Goat. You says Aaron Taylor Johnson and Dan Taylor Johnson. She's 24 years older. So
who are those people? I never heard of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking too. Al, how you doing? Says, me personally, I don't like younger men. To me, they're just a temporary play toy. Okay, so I want to just kind of hi, brother Stephen. Tell your wife to say hello. I just kind of address some things. As far as her being a predator and a groomer, how old are these men that she's dating? We don't know, right? Is she trying to date somebody that's 19, low 20s or whatever? But when let's just play devil's advocate here. When you men talk about a woman you don't want to date a woman that's over 35 or whatever. Y'all date these women in their 20s or whatever. You know, y'all make excuses for it. Y'all don't want to be called groomers and predators and all that other stuff. But to the other side, when a woman does it, I don't know how old these men are. She didn't say. She said younger, so they're not her age. That doesn't denote that she's dating somebody that's probably a child, right? And the other thing too is, I'm not well versed on Tracy Ellis Ross or anything like that. I have heard her talk like this before. I thought that she was indefinitely single. She did not want to be in a relationship. I heard her say that once before, but you know, that she's dating younger men. I think, and I guess I consider myself an older woman now. I'm not dating anybody younger, but I understand it in a way, especially if you're an older woman, and maybe you've gotten some money or something. A lot of older women, they're like, I don't need him to do nothing. I don't need him to pay for nothing. I got my own money, you know, whatever. I'm just saying, does Tracy Ellis Ross need a man to pay for something? The answer is no.
No. She needs a man for something. She needs a man for something. And we know what that something is.
I'm getting to that. See, that's the problem, though, with a lot of people in society. I think Tracy, and again, I don't know nothing about her, but I think she's unapologetic with that. I'm in the younger men. Now, I think most women that are in the younger men is like, crack my back, because these older dudes, they, you know, a lot of times, right? So she like,
Demetria's really big, fellas, on the gravity hitting us.
I'm just saying, you know, let's keep it a buck. Most older women want a younger dude so he could glow his back, crack. You know what I mean? So she's like, honey, you want the new Atari 5200? What you want? You want the new Jordans? You want something to eat, right? So she know what her role is. In a sense, she knows she a sugar mama. She not coding that or whatever the case is, right? So I don't know. I just kind of see older women dating younger men for that. Now, I've watched an episode of Maury or Jerry Springer before, and I see the older women on there. Oh, why are you messing with that younger woman? You know, because she's 60, and the dude she messing with is 26, and she bringing him on there because she's trying to figure out why he cheating is because he's 26 and you 60, okay? You was only supposed to be doing one thing with this young Thundercat, and that was getting your back cracked. You tried to turn him into a husband. He ain't no ready to be no husband, right? All you do is just make sure that his little Happy Meal is hot and all that other stuff, and he gonna take care of you, right? So I think with that, just kind of listen to Tracy. I think she realizes why he's there and what we're doing together. Now let's address her saying the man is toxic or whatever. I don't know Tracy's experience. I don't necessarily like the term toxic masculinity because I do think that is something that's overly used a lot of times by women. I just can't get my way with this dude, or maybe I've done something to him and he didn't like it. Now, he's toxic, right? So I think that's really open to interpretation. But I don't know. I don't have a dog in the fight as far as who Tracy wants to be with, but I think she's honest in that. I mean, I just need him to do one thing, and that's scratch the itch I can't reach. You know? And I think in the other vein, a lot of y'all men say that. What I'm gonna do with I've heard, you know how many men I've heard say, what I'm gonna do with an older woman. Well, I don't need an older woman. I want me a young woman. You know, and then to her point, come on, let's play a game, shall we? I'm gonna get that jigsaw mask. Let's play a game. Okay. To her point, which kind of proves her to be right in something that she said. She said, I find that men my age want to control or possess me. Right? Now, when you hear older men talk about being with younger women, what do they say? Oh, I want a younger woman because I can mold her. I can shape her. I can make her into the woman that I want her to be. So she kind of, y'all, the points are proving themselves. So in that, and that's her experience, where is she wrong? Now, I'm going to let Donovan have it, then I'm going to get to you guys' comments. And hello. And
no, I'm with you 100%. Like I said, to each his own. If she's got the finances to be a sugar mama, I'm all for that. She wants her back cracked, I'm all for that. But what I'm saying is to promote that type of thing, as if it's something normal, I think it's kind of dangerous because, again, she's in a different tax bracket. Unfortunately, just like we found out about these burqa bags, ladies, and these Louis Vuittons, it ain't worth the $3,000 you're paying. It's only worth $50. So again, you have people that look up to Tracy Ellis Ross, and like I said, she's a phenomenal actress. I have no problem with her. If she gave me an opportunity, I'd go ahead and hit it. But my point is this: she has a lot of influence on people. And unfortunately, for some reason, we take something that maybe an influencer says to us, and we take it as gold. And it's really not gold. She's in a position that can do that. You may not be in a position to do that. And so that's where I have a issue with it. You know, but like I said, if she wants to go ahead and do that, sister, go right on ahead. But last thing before we get into that, Demetra, you didn't address my question in regards to Michelle Obama. Have you noticed that she seems to be pissed off in regards to being a married woman and, you know, kind of high-fiving some of this stuff?
I mean, I don't follow Michelle a lot. I would say the snippets that I've seen, which is why I kind of wanted to play the longer clip of this, because the clip that I saw Tracy Ellis Ross was the toxic masculinity without the conversation around it. But I would say, yeah, some of the things that I've seen people post about Michelle, yeah, it seems like, you know, and she said it, she wasn't happy in her marriage, you know, while her husband was being the presidency. So she said that. I don't think she made that a secret. I'm not sure what Michelle Obama's thing is. Her talking to Tracy and her brother Craig talked to her. I didn't get that they were co-signing it, but then I didn't watch the whole thing. So I want to put that out there. I just think that she was giving a clarification to what she was saying. But I don't, you know, because she said that in another clip right before that, she said she was actually having dinner with Michelle and Barack. And Barack said, basically, why do you want to date a younger man? Right. So that's kind of where that conversation came from. All right, so let's see here. And then I'm going to get in. I want to address something. Let's see. Flavor, he says she's old enough to be that young man's mother. Yeah, that's true. A lot of men out there dating women, they old enough to hell be their damn granddaddy. But you ain't heard that from me. 48 TCO, he says, now you own what? Andre, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I was logical thinking says, yeah, she don't live for it. She needs, he says, yeah, she don't live for it, or she doesn't need anyone's approval. Yeah. And Sister Shirley says it only takes a few roosters to handle all the hens. Also, a few bulls to handle all the cows. And yeah, sometimes the cows, you know, want to be handled by all the bulls. Anyway, Facts My Pillow says if I was Obama when I hear Michelle with Ross, I put a call to her live and tell her you need to be home by 5. Daddy need to tap that so Michelle can either stay with Ross or come on home. See what I mean? See what I mean? You know, how you doing? Says the documentary on her mother Diana was gruesome. She was so hard to get along with, and Tracy seems to follow that same pattern. Difficult, you know. And I'll be honest with you, that's just a lot of women, and I'm only speaking from a woman's point of view because I am that. They're like, you know what? No, thank you. And, you know, I've been through a whole lot of nonsense, and right now I'm just don't want to do that no more, you know. And for her, some of y'all call it 304 phase, maybe it is, but she said she likes to date younger men. She just said she liked to date them all at the same time, right? So that doesn't necessarily make her a 304. I just think whether we like it or not, it wouldn't be a lifestyle for me. That's what she wants to do, and who are we to tell her that she can't do it? So I don't know. Melanie Montre says, why don't Tracy just say she wanted an interim lover? I mean, I think maybe that's kind of what she said. Protect Black children. How you doing? Says Michelle Obama's brother is Craig Robinson. Thank you so much, because I knew his name, but it just slipped my mind. Coco Blessings just said it's Miss Ross wants to be a sugar mama, then that's a prerogative. That's what I'm saying. I think most women that are with younger dudes know that's who they are to them. He want to play Switch today. I'm supposed to be buying him a cartridge or something. I don't know, child. You know. In fact, my feelings, there you go. You want your 23-year-old. That's your business. She, at the end of the day, whether I like it, she's legal. You know, Meska, how you doing?
Esther Rowe, back in the day, Esther Rowe, when she was in her prime.
Meska, you said some men have boundaries. That's what some females call toxic. Yeah, I agree with that. Mikey says, knock the cobwebs off that thing. Yeah, sometimes that's what they be wanting. Sister Marcella says, I'm glad I've been married for 43 years. I'm so glad that I'm not dating today. You don't know what you're getting into. So-called crazy world men on the low, download today, child. And I do know why doves cry. And I'm so happy that you are been married for 43 years. That is a blessing. Today, that just ain't the case. You know, people got the fear of missing out. They bed hopping, and it's a lot. So I often am asked by men, where are all the good women? And I'm just speaking, listen, I'm not saying nothing about you men, please, because I know some of y'all be taking it deep. Where are all the good women? I said, there's a lot of good women. They're just not in the market no more. They've had enough. They've heard some of these men loud and clear. You don't really want a good woman. You want a plaything. You want somebody who gonna let you play with them and all this other stuff. You don't want a good woman. You don't want to come home to a hot meal, a clean house, a nice woman that smells good, that looks good, that's nice to you, that want to see you win. Y'all don't want those type of women. Y'all want the woman that's cute, the Instagram baddie, the one that's walking and talking like she doing something, and then her credit is bad. She ain't got no money. Her house is dirty, and she don't tell me what the. Those y'all like the hot in the pants, hot. Not y'all. I'm talking to them over there. Okay, the hot to trot sassafras. That's what you want. So the good women are like, y'all go play with them. You just can't play with me. And I hope you have a great day. So I'm just saying, Tracy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is on here. Lance, Sagittarius Goddess, how you doing? Lance, she says, I seen or heard of Tracy being involved with any man. Think, folks, I don't know. Maybe she is on the same time. I don't know nothing about her. Lady Diana says, I never dated a man older than me. That's my preference when just dating. And that's your preference, right? Baby Goat, it says, am I tripping? But weren't men just fighting for the right to jump on a plane and find it? To find younger women with little economic power to run through. Baby Goat, you better watch out. They gonna jump you in the comment section. You're gonna get jumped. Michelle, he says, Michelle O seems always angry. She's embarrassing to Barack, in my opinion. Yes, she said it. She said that she was mad at him for a long time.
Golly, okay, if you were, keyword, was mad at him, why are you projecting that feeling now? It seems like you're still in your feelings or something. And I want to add, ladies, you always got to remember this. Men value legacy. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. And it's true. This is why men are more attracted to younger girls that are more in their prime of their birthing cycle. So I'm not saying older women can't do it, but I'm just saying when the woman's in her prime is when she's younger.
A woman's in her prime when she's in her prime, whether she's 50, she's 60, she's 70, she's
80. Men don't believe that. Sorry. No, don't. Nice try. Nice try.
But women, those women don't care what you want, what you believe. Because most women, and I would hope most men, don't wake up to the tune of what somebody else believes. When I wake up believing what I believe, right? I don't wake up and say, well, let me log on the internet and see what men are saying about me today. Or they're saying I'm not in my prime, then I'm gonna walk around and not in my prime today. It's like, come on now, really? That okay. Women or a one man cares about what that one man that she's with saying. Forget all of that. And now let me say this to y'all too. I love y'all. But a lot of people, whether you a man or a woman, you run around here espousing your beliefs on people you'll never date. You're espousing your beliefs and your ideologies and all the stuff on people you'll never be in the same room with. Most people will never be in the same room with Tracy Ellis Ross. So who cares who she dating?
Right. Now, regardless of how you feel in your head, there is biological prime for men and women. Now, again, I know how you feel, whatever, and the positivity, that's all good and great, but it is statistically proven, biologically proven, there is a prime. A women's birth thing is like, I guess the prime would be between 16 and 27 or whatever the deal is. The point is, when you guys hit your, let's just say your end of your birthing cycle, I forgot the name of the word of that is, but your end of your birthing cycle, when you guys go through menopause and stuff, you guys are now, so are you in your prime when you go past your menopause? To a lot of people, no, because a woman's prime biology is to bring children into the world, right? It's not their prime goal. Well, I wouldn't say it's their prime job. I wouldn't say that. But without women, we can't birth children. So again, if your cycle stops and you can't birth children, would you say you're in your prime? I guess that's subjective. But the point is, everybody has a prime physically, if you believe it or not.
Whether it's physical or not, there's a lady in Ethiopia that's in her goddamn own 70s that had a baby. So is she in her prime? I don't know. But nevertheless, like I said, That's the one thing I think people need to get good at is ignoring the noise, because you are who you say you are, how you feel. You are, like me personally, like I said, I'm not trying to feel in my prime to every man. Okay. I don't run around trying to be the definition of what every man that on the internet that I've never met say that I should be. Right. And the other thing is a lot of times, a lot of men or women, I want to make it even, sitting up here putting these definitions on people and they ain't all of that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Tiff, how you doing? Says, yes, they actually love the drama, want to tame the wild ones. And the wild ones is like, and Al, you says, so he had a friend, or he knows of a guy that knows somebody, is an older guy that says, ask the friend, are you going to go hit them hams? I said, see, that's unfortunately an older man talking like that about a woman, immature, calling women cheeks and hams and skins and stuff. I said, that's how you talk when you're a man in your 20s, but a man in your 50s, 40s, and even upper 30s, it just comes to a point where it's like, okay, what woman in her right mind gonna be hanging out with a man that's referring to her as some cheeks or some hams or something? It's like, you crazy. Yes, Sagittarius goddess, I totally agree. All men do not think that way. That's why I said them over there. Let's see. Tracy says a few of her men she's been with in past have been shown and girly like them dark. Yeah. So you said she likes them dark. Is that what you're saying? Cortez, how you doing? Says, stop, lady. You're not in your prime at 60. But again, Cortez, who are you to tell somebody what they are? You aren't you. Who are you to tell somebody that? You don't know what a person is or is not. You do not have the ability to do that. No, since the inception of the internet, some of these, be nice, have told people that they can espouse their beliefs on other people. And if you don't believe it, then I'm going to label you, right? See, if we wasn't on here, we'd have a real deep conversation. But I'm going to be nice because I'm on the internet. Raven, he says, Donovan, do you have a connection to Thelma? She's in her 70s and I'm available. One who cares, how you doing? Yeah. Thelma, Bernadette Stannis, she's from the Good Times, obviously. She's in her 70s and she looks great. Terry says, interesting conversation. Thank you. Mad Dog, how you doing? I'm doing well. How about yourself? Brother Sammy says, I heard her say to Oprah that she doesn't want to be married. Maybe the household she grew up in has some things going on that we are not privy to. You never know why, right? Baby Goat, it says, it's pretty clear she doesn't want kids. So what does pride matter? Right. You know what I mean? And she ain't gonna give none of y'all no baby. So what difference does it make? You know what I mean? Hey, Common Man, where have you been? Where have you been? He says 25. Is that what's 25? The average logical thinker says, my friend is in her 40s and wants children. I encourage her to have kids with a younger man to decrease risk of autism. Oh, because you're saying the age being older is autism. Autism comes into the picture, and that's over my head. So forgive me. Tracy says,
yes, that earth juice that men have, it has been proven that it is not as potent as when we are in our younger years. So yes, all of that is a factor. Just like women have certain things they can't do, men that are older that have children, the child does have, not in all cases, but in some cases, things happen to the child because the father is excessively older and whatever.
Sherry says, just like the men do, young women do too. When you get too old, they look for young too, especially in Hollywood. Yeah, there's a lot of women who get with these old cooters and like, there's somebody else to do it. Let me go on and find me a young tenderoni, okay? So don't think it's just the men that be trading the men. Trust me, there's women who do it all the time. Like, you smell like Ben Gay, too much for me, too much for my liking.
Hey, if I smell like Ben Gay, no worries. Old Spice will just have to suffice.
And even some old women like, no, I'm good. Get somebody else to do it. Coco says, not all men want children. That is true. There's a lot of men who don't have children. Queen Adaya, how you doing? Says, those are society stats. A woman can have a child in her 90s. That's the word. Yeah, we ain't listening to them. They think they.
Yeah, but see, I hate when people take the most extreme cases and apply it to themselves like it's something normal. The women that can have, like Janet Jackson, she had a child when she was 51. Of course, there's complications for women when they have children in their older ages, if they can still do it. Janet Jackson has money to deal with a situation like that. You don't see too many women above the age of 46 having babies. You just don't see it because of the risks.
Anyway, Tiffany says, my aunt had my cousin at 43. We're black. Freed Mind, how you doing? Says, I don't think dating an older woman or a younger man should be a problem if their values are aligned with each other. I don't either. I don't, see the problem, right, Brother Reggie. How you doing, by the way? He says, yams, hams. Yeah, all of that. You in your 50s talking about, man, did you get the scans? You clap them cheeks. And then them be the men that be wanting like a nice, respectable woman calling her some damn cheeks. I don't know. It's just odd to me. It's creepy.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, Tiff, how old your aunt was. I don't know, the age that we're talking about when she was 43, but I'm talking about what the generation she was. But my grandmother, when she had a younger uncle, he's a year younger than me, she was 46. But my grandmother had a child every 2 years. She had 26 births. So back in the day, that wasn't uncommon for women to have children into their 40s because they had big families. So that's a different thing in a woman's body. If you're geared to have babies, you're having babies. It doesn't like gear down yet, I guess. But that wasn't uncommon.
I love how y'all men just know how women's bodies be working. Facts Not Feelings, she says, no guys will marry Ross, her body, with her body count. Cut the cap, cut the crap. Y'all marry the woman, y'all know damn well she done been ran around the block 14 times by the daddy, hell, sometimes the mama, the brother, the cousins, everybody else. I'm gonna make her an honest woman. Y'all, them be the ones on for now, y'all. Them over there. Those be the women y'all want. Y'all want the ones that's just, let me shut up. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm on the internet. And how you doing, Angela? He says, yes, I've had a great day. Nothing too eventful. I didn't even see no Easter eggs. Tracy says, my daughter's father is younger, autism aware. Okay. Common Man says, a woman's prime is a global belief, not an individual belief. There you go. If I say, hell, I'm in my prime now. I'm 54 years old. Trust me, I'm in my prime. I can run most of y'all under the carpet. Okay. I got a lot of energy. And as you know, my father says he's 81 years old. He says young is in the mind. He sees a lot of younger people who act old, so it just depends. Al, he says the look on Donovan's face when he hears some pookie hood crap is so funny. Can I say this? No, I ain't gonna say it. I'm on the internet. Shut your mouth, Demetra. Shut your mouth. Yeah, Steven smell like Ben Gay talking about you like this. Hell no. I don't like that. Buckhorse, you better stop it. Talk about Janet, it's all for you. The average logical thing is that some of y'all so damn bitter, so you put untruths on others, have no idea of someone's future. Shaking my head, just mad because Tracy Ross would never look your way.
See, that's where you're wrong. I'm in my prime. She'd look my way anytime because I'm in my prime right now. Why wouldn't she look this way? I'm in my prime. That's the delusion people have in the world today. You're telling me she would never look my way, but at the same time, you're telling me that a prime is how I feel about myself. Why wouldn't she look my way? I'm in my prime right now. See, it doesn't make sense, does it? But wait, I agree with you. She wouldn't give me the time of day, but I'm in my prime. It doesn't make sense.
Shorty swing my way, sure looks good to me. Nah.
Baby, you need to swing my way. Remember Prince Marky D?
Right. Dwayne, how you doing? Says shape the sheets. Yes. 48 TCL says, it's just thirst, Demetra. It's something. Leslie Sagittarius Goddess says, money might have something to do with it for some people, but it also depends on type of body you have, no matter age. Yeah. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I don't know every woman, but most of the women I know, and I tell y'all this, and I think it's Easter Sunday, but I'm going to keep it as clean as I can. Most women that I know, whether they were younger or older, that dates older man, that dates an older man, he either got some money or he got some, you know what I mean? I'm going to be clean. That's the number 2 reasons that I hear younger women say they like dating an older man. Now there's that few that fall through the cracks and say, oh, I just like him. He's just, I love sitting up and watching MASH every night with him and All in the Family and the Jeffersons. It's cool. That's kind of rare, but yeah, you ain't cracking backs and racking stacks. She probably ain't gonna have too much to do with you as an older gentleman, respectively. Tracy says women back in the day didn't really have a choice. Facts and Feelings says not me, will not marry that woman. And that's you. You not every man, you know. Common Man says my grandmother had 13 kids and she was busy. Sister Shirley says I was finished having children by the age of 25, me 21, because I only had one. Raven says talking, clapping cheeks on a special, on Sunday. Let's see. Lance says, damn, we know what your grandparents like to do. My maternal grandmother had 13. Yeah, they ain't had no TV back then either. So it's like, damn, Rufus, stay off me.
Yeah. And, some people in the comments say, they like women didn't have a choice. That we got to stop taking what happens today in the modern age to what happened back in the day. Back in the day, birth control wasn't very prevalent. So when you were married and you just had kids, there was no birth. They weren't giving out birth control like they're giving it out today where you can get it for free. You had to be married back in the day to get birth control.
Yeah. So, and again, they didn't have no TV either. Common Man says, my grandparents were born 20 years after the Civil War. Damn. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. And they definitely didn't have no birth control then, right? Melanie Montre says, on the plus side, Tracy isn't a serial divorcee like J-Lo. Yeah, J-Lo be running through them, don't she? LaShawn, how you doing?
I got to read Tiff's thing because it is so damn true. And I'm finding this out in my old age. The good thing about older men is that they go to sleep by 8 p.m. That is so damn true. So damn true.
Yeah, but they got that bottle of blue pills now, sis. They got that bottle of blue pills. You can't just, they be shaking them. You ready, girl? I got a headache. I got some in the medicine cabinet for that, too.
If these brothers would just eat more vegetables and greens and nitrates in their diet, you wouldn't need blue pills. Shame.
Sure. Let's see. Your average logical thinker says she wants something younger and fresh and active and still works on command. Come on now. Not saying, okay, when you took the blue pill about an hour ago, so about another 3 hours, we can. Yeah, I think so. I got all these other medications that need to run through my body. So it's got to wait till that goes through my body. And then I can, give you about 2 minutes of a good time. CJ says, I like them because they're protective, not saying guys my age aren't. So you're talking about older guys? And Tiffany says the good thing. Okay, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, Pro Black Div, how you doing? Says, why does a man need to keep up? We're not house pets. I mean, the same thing y'all want a woman to keep up, come on, man. Are we really asking this question? This is like at some point, I love you. I've never seen you on here before. I'm going to say, I love you. I know that if I met you in person, I would love you. Why are we really asking that question? That's like saying, why do we want water to be wet when we drink it? Why does a woman want a man to keep up? So a woman wants a man to be on her feeling like a dead fish. That, it's out of breath. Yeah, I said breath. Panting and, give me a moment. No. I mean, we're asking some questions I think you never mind. I'm delirious today, y'all. Have you heard? How you doing? Says true indeed. Amawali, how you doing? Says I don't know about that. In my aging, I have learned that mindset of women, and believe you me, it's a monumental task to do, and I treat them with the utmost respect and care, and we love you for it. Jay Bubba, how you doing? Says I wanted to ask, did y'all talk about Letitia James? Do you think Fonnie will be next? I think they're all going to be next. I think Biden did this service by not protecting them, and he's a sort of a douchebag for that.
Yeah. I just want to give you guys a service announcement. If you guys ladies haven't heard, Idris Elba, he is going to create Black Hollywood in Africa. So he is leaving Hollywood. So all you ladies that think that you guys are in your prime and you can pull Idris Elba, he's going to Africa to build Black Hollywood.
Woohoo. Y'all crazy. That was the first thing I could think of. Not saying that, I was just like, Proactive, he says, yes, I'm asking if my woman can't hang in the sack anymore, I'll get demonized for cheating. Well, I mean, yeah, so you want your woman to hang in the sack and we want your sack to hang with us. I don't see where the confusion is. I don't know. I think sometimes men just think women are like, yes, it's so wonderful. Yes, yes, yes. It's so good. Please do that again. Y'all think she what? And then you say, was it good for you? See, I'm at the age, I'm like, hell to the no. And don't ever get on me again with that. But a lot of times y'all men, y'all want women to say, oh, it was great. Gosh, it's just, no, it wasn't that. I didn't get anything out of it, but it just, all that matters is you. I'm just saying. But
wait a minute. If we could go and support our children, even when we don't want to be there, and you're cheering for them at their games, and you don't even understand how the game actually plays and stuff like that, shouldn't you be doing that for your man, even if he's not doing a great job, but give him the illusion of inclusion? I'm just asking, because for us, and I'm speaking from the man's point of view, sometimes it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway for us, but we still in it to win it.
Because maybe that hot dog is really a Vienna sausage. Anyway, hey, James, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for that. Love and appreciate you. Says Dimitri, my dear sweetheart, you got me already. Says your eyes are so beautifully dark and mysterious. Wow. Says I want to grab you by the ears and okay, I have to keep reading. It says, yes, Barry White song for you, dreaming of you, limited, unlimited. I love Unlimited Orchestra. I love and appreciate you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just saying, I keep hearing this hot dog down the hallway analysis, but maybe you're looking at it the wrong way. It's like, is the glass half empty or is it half full? Is it a hot dog down the hallway or is it a Vienna sausage down a straw? I'm just saying, your perception could be off. Common Man says, blue pills don't work for me, Dimitri K. I've tried them for fun. I like to be natural. Just take your vitamins and keep down your belly fat. Take your word for it. Sunlight says Idris is married. Yes, he is. He's happily married. Sherry, how you doing? Says, I hope he teaches them how to act because they cannot act for nothing. You crazy in the world.
Idris being married has what bearing on women wanting him and whatever the deal is? It's like a rock star. Prince was married, but women were still throwing themselves at Prince. They didn't care.
Yes, we wanted to be his lover. Rodney, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Raven, you says most young women way more bolder these days when it comes to expressing what they want. Let a guy know they open like 7-Eleven. Yeah, those women need to sit with some of the older women, but like, no, don't be that damn open, okay? Don't be like no drive-through, no Denny's that's open all night. Happy Harry says, tell the truth. I'll just read it. Tracy says that hot dog could be a thimble, child. And usually it probably is. A perception is off. Sherry says, yes, sometimes I lie just so he can hurry up. Right. Get off me, right? The average logical thinker says, yes, we've lied for men for years, and now that women are being honest, they don't like it. But women are the ones who can't handle the truth. Come on now. And women lie because you can't. Was it good for you? Hell to the no. I could have had a V8 and you wasted my time, Dwayne, yes, I'm delirious. I need some sleep. Meska says, maybe I'm lost, but when did intimacy become a competitive sport? I agree. And now listen. My dad may be watching, so I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I know that sometimes it's not like, okay, we should both be served. Sometimes it's like, hurry up. This is for you. Make it quick. Yeah.
That's right. Take one for the team, damn it.
Right. Even if you don't feel anything back there, you just act like it, right? So I'm not saying.
Did you say that there? Did you say that there?
Whatever. Okay. Whatever. It could be back there, up there. We'll never know most of the time. Okay. But yeah, both people should be getting something out of it. That's how a lot of times when, you go to work and then, your wife or your husband spend a lot of time at the neighbor's house. I'm just borrowing sugar. Damn, what kind of sweet tooth you got? Oh, you'd be surprised. You know what I mean? So yeah, both people should be happy. You crazy. Tiff, you crazy. Talking about what comes first, the chicken or the egg. I'm going to leave that one alone. One who cares says, laughing my ass off, not a hot dog down the hallway, tiny sausage in a straw. It's all about perception, baby. It's all about perception. Oh God. Facts got feeling. I was wondering if somebody gonna bring that up. It says breaking news: child support will now be collected at the time of conception when in Texas, when a woman gets pregnant and not at birth in the state of Texas, and paternity does not have to be proven by Texas. And guess what? That's men. That's making that child support law. Basically, in Texas, if a woman conceives and she, I don't know, maybe she's gonna go get benefits or something, or it comes into question, they're like, who the pappy is? Oh, the pappy is him, right? Okay, he needs to be paying child support now on conception. I just want to reiterate that. Men made that law. I would imagine there's mostly men in the Texas legislature. Okay.
Simp men. But go ahead. But men
made most of the child support laws. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's mostly the simp men. But here's my thing though. If that is the case, see, and this isn't a well thought out law, because what is the recourse if the man is not the father? This is why I'm not against that law, but why can't we get mandatory DNA also? Because what if that man is not the father and she just claims that? See, they're not thinking this thing out. To me, the whole key is mandatory DNA, period. And you can get DNA before the child is born.
Listen, it can all be so simple, but you rather make it hard.
Yes, ladies, close your legs.
And the reason why I say that is, you know how many people gonna get caught up in this child support law? Even though you as a man knows that if you are not married to this woman, committed to this woman in any way, shape, or form, you lay down with her and she says, I need some benefits. Great. Who's the daddy? Him. All right, hook him on up, right? Even if you know that, there's going to be a lot of men still thinking it ain't going to happen to me. The first dude that it happens to, it's going to be monumental. And it's like, sucker, you knew the job was dangerous before you jumped into bed with her, but somehow you jumped into bed with a woman you wasn't trying to be with, wasn't trying to spend 18 to 22 years with, paying child support, wasn't trying to marry, didn't even know her name. You jumped into bed with her. Now, I will personally tell you, I don't like the law because who's to say, right? She might have had relations with a couple of dudes. And who's to say she even had relationships with that man? Maybe she says, oh, well, it's him and she married, never even slept with this man. So I don't like the law. But I really wanted to point out that that's men making that law. I think the law is problematic. But I understand why they're doing it, because they're like, okay, this woman is going to come and try to get some welfare, or something like that. Well, we, instead of us paying for it, make the sucker that lay down with her pay for it. So I think that would be a deterrent, if anything. But again, some dude gonna get.
It's gonna be a deterrent, brothers. Get those passports. There's gonna be a lot of alone. Ladies, there's plenty of cats at the animal shelter that needs to be adopted.
Yeah, y'all going to Sasua and put unwanted babies in them that y'all ain't got to take care of. That's the spirit. Hey, JJ, how you doing? Thank you, love, appreciate you for that. I'm just saying, go put some baby in and dip off. They ain't gonna make you take care of them babies. That's kind of what I heard you say. Brother Reggie says, take care of your health, fellas. Yeah, but they want to eat chicken strips.
Right. So Demetria, quick question. So are you for mandatory DNA? That would solve a lot of these issues.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have a problem with mandatory DNA. No, I do not. But again, I think if, like I said, I'm gonna speak for the women because I am one. Okay, women. Farrakhan said it best. I think it was not this one because he didn't do this one, but the year before that, Savior's Day. Women, stop laying down with men that have no commitment to you. Because what he'll do is knock you up and go down the road to Susie and do the same thing to her. The key word is commitment, right? I'm speaking to the ladies. If that man is not committed to you, do not have any type of sexual relationships with him. Okay? There's plenty of women that allow him to hop up and down on her like a trampoline for free and play with her. See, I'm saying this to the women because it's the women, as y'all say, that control sex. So with that, sir, you cute, nah, but are you going to marry me? Nah, I just won't lay down with you. Nah, hell no. So what you're saying, sir, is you just want to treat me like a trampoline and not marry me? You don't see yourself marrying me? Nah, I ain't thought that far, but you thought that far to get under my clothes, sucker? Yeah. No, thank you. Shun him and do like the Jesus did to the devil and says, Satan, get thee behind me and don't you ever speak to me again. So you can solve all that with that. Because unfortunately, these men, not all, gonna do what men do. But the women, if you were silly enough to let this man jump up and down on you to where you need to go say, I need some, welfare because, he the daddy. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna shut up because I'm getting in trouble.
Yeah, and just a note, as currently as they know from the people that did take the test, 1/3 of all births in the 1/3 of all births in the United States, the daddy is not the daddy. So we can eradicate that. It might even be bigger than that, fellas. But to me, 1/3 is outrageous. So you mean to tell me you got men out here raising children that aren't their children, whatever. But the point is, I think it should be mandatory, and it is a problem. We are having a problem with that. Mandatory DNA. Why would women be against it? I have no idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it, but y'all talk about the women that's having these babies that's lying on dudes and stuff, but y'all never talk about the dudes that's making babies and running off and pretending that he didn't do the stuff, and then that woman got to hunt him down to get a DNA test. So I mean, it goes both ways, honestly.
Yeah, I think Kevin Samuels addressed that years ago. He's saying within the community, 20 to 30% of the male population is actually getting most of the women pregnant. You guys are dating and sleeping with the same guy. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying he kind of addressed that. Going because you have a lot of the girls in the neighborhood getting pregnant by the same guy.
And it's funny because every man I know got more than one baby mama. I'm just saying every man I know got more than one baby mama.
And every woman I know has more than 3 baby daddies. No, I'm just joking, but
I'm about to say I ain't got no 3 baby daddies. What are you talking about? I got one. And he watches sometimes. How you doing, baby daddy? Tracy, you're right. He says if ladies have to close their legs, men should keep it in their pants. Yeah, and I agree. Men, keep it in your pants. If you don't want to be with her, she's not wifey material. Stop jumping up and down on her. Brother Simon says basing things on ability to be satisfied physically would encourage premarital sex. Anything based on physical will not last. I totally agree with you, but I do think that, man, yeah, I think there should be something there, and I agree with you. Shouldn't be based on physical because some things may happen and you're not able to do that. It should be based off of love, but damn, let me shut up. I hear what you're saying though. Raven says, is a Vienna sausage to blame or is her walls wider than the Grand Canyon? See, a lot of y'all too don't know how anatomy works. Y'all talk about these women's walls is like how they come on, y'all need to learn how anatomy works. Okay, women have whole babies come out of there and it goes right back. Okay, now I know that's something y'all heard in the locker room somewhere. Man, her walls will stretch out. Like I said, if you get a little bit more information, then you'll know that doesn't make a lot of sense. I know I know it probably makes the man feel better than making him think that he's really just. I was trying, but it was her, not me.
See, now again, coming from a woman's perspective, I would honestly agree that you come from a perspective that you know nothing about. I'm a man. Now, I'm going to tell you, there are some people out there that have no resistance in their walls. And a lot of guys in this chat will also tell you the same thing.
What I heard was, her walls are too big. That's what I heard. She got some big walls. That's what I heard. Samurai Dad, how you doing? Says, eyes the pappy. Right. Don't say that too loud. Then she might be like, yeah, he is. Sagittarius guy says, oh my God, not the passports. Beverly White, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. James Mitchell, how you doing? He says, for years I've been saving yourself for me. Okay. Shirley says the courts aren't into bastardizing children. That's why you men have to pay. Yeah, if you're the daddy. And my thing is, did you sleep with her once? Yes. Then you may be the daddy. Somebody said to me the other day, well, a lot of men pull out. I said, you know what they call men who pull out? Donovan, what do they call men who pull out?
I don't know. What do they call them? Cowards?
Fathers. Okay? They call them fathers.
Hey, if you guys put the leg lock on us, there's nothing we can do. We're locked in. It's like the deadly spider. It's a trap. It's a trap.
What, you fell down the hallway? Facts Not Feeling says, I predict that because of this Texas law, the pro industry will go from $1 billion business to $1 trillion. Yeah, I got you. Business. I only date pros if I live in that state. Just date somebody you really could see yourself having a baby with, right? Dia, how you doing? He says, oftentimes women being single piece, men being single piece equals peace. She says, life isn't only about a significant other. Happiness comes from God and within. Amen and amen. You know what says, my grandmother always told me back in the day, with some power, keep your drawers up and your dress down. I made it my business to do just that. She put that fear in me. There you go. Don't lay down with a man that ain't trying to be with you, right? You just ask him a few questions. You want to get married to me? Nah, I ain't thought that far. Then what you want to get in the bed with me for? You know, Miss Bree, how you doing? Tracy says DNA works for both sides, the accuser and the one that denies. Come on now. See, they don't ever want to talk about that part.
You know what? I have a question. I know this is kind of off topic, but let's say you're a person that has HIV. Why is it the onus on the person that has HIV to disclose they have HIV? No. And what I'm saying is, yeah, if a person wants to do that of their own fruition, I'm all for it. But what I'm saying is, why would I, as a man, just meeting you, would put myself in a position, I don't know anything about you, would put myself in a position where I'm having unprotected sex with you to possibly get HIV? Do you see what I'm saying? I understand that a person, if they want to disclose it, that's great. But I kind of thought about that and I said, if I'm the man and let's say the woman has HIV, how is it on her when I'm the one that wants to put my redwood into her? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? To me, that just isn't logical. If I'm trying to get with her, I should protect myself. To me, I'm not saying she shouldn't do it, but it just doesn't make sense to me why the onus should be on that person.
So I want to clarify. I do hear what you're saying. As I always talked about when I went to dental assisting school, I have jack of all trades, master of none, really. When I went to dental assisting school, I learned that universal rule is treat everyone as though they are infected, even if they're not. You treat them all as infected. But I think if you are infected, you should tell people, because that's against the law and you go to jail for running around giving people the HIV. And you should be telling people that that's your status, right? So they do have laws against you knowingly infecting people. But yeah, you treat everybody as though they have it until they verify to you that they don't. So yeah, the onus should be on you to protect yourself. Yeah. So let's see. And HB Baisley, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. LaShawn says he's not black, he's an actor. And I don't know who that is. Let me skip down. I'm hot, y'all. Daryl says the Vienna sausage finger. That's cold to me. I'm just saying, I hear hot dog, I hear hallway, and I hear Vienna sausage. That's what I hear, and maybe I need to get my hearing fixed. Somebody says no resistance means you as a man lay up with free merchandise. Yeah. Ronnie says I don't have any kids. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of men who don't. There's a lot of women who don't have any children. In fact, I know quite a few women that don't have any children. I'm trying to think, do I know any men that don't have any children? Can't think off the top of my head of any men that don't have any children. So they almost be within that 20%.
Those kids that I have weren't mine. I had to pay for them, but they weren't mine. No, I'm joking. I got to.
Okay, Son, how you doing? Says on grappler. What does that mean? It's probably something we want to know. Baby Goat says HIV is on the rise. Please stop using that method. Yeah. HIV and HIV. It is. It's on, especially here in Houston. They said it's at an all-time high in Harris County. They say all of the stuff you could get, chlamydia, gonorrhea, HIV, AIDS, all of that is super, super, super on the rise here. And I'm like, that's crazy. With all this education we have, people out there risking it, just laying down with anybody, assuming that, oh, she look clean, he looks clean, they look all right, and then you be getting that call, like, we need you to come in and have a conversation with you. Can't you tell me on the phone? I could, but you might want to come and sit down so we can really explain to you some things, Michelle says, it should be a felony if you don't disclose that you have HIV. You're giving someone a death sentence. Yeah, it is. Brother Reggie Donovan with this redwood. He talking about a number 2 pencil. I don't know. A number 2 pencil is made out of redwood. I don't know. Herschel says I would have went with Mighty Oak. You know, in here in Houston, or that I've been here since 2020. I've seen a couple of hurricanes and tornadoes. Those Mighty Oaks don't stand a chance against the wind. A lot of times they be, and then they have to come and chop them up, and then they turn them into firewood. Rodney says that's why 2 people should go on a date. Yes, get your HIV test. They talking about why I got to do that. You don't trust me? Hell to the no. No, I don't trust you. Let's line it up. Stick your arm out there, let them, get a vial of your blood, get a vial of mine, and then we both come back clean. Then, we think about that, but then we're going to do that before we go down the aisle because we got to be getting married, okay? Well, I don't know about all of that.
I don't buy shoes without trying them on. That's a Good Times reference. Please tell me you know that Good Times. What did she tell us? Remember when Thelma was going to marry eBay? She said, Mama, you don't buy no shoes without trying them on. What did Florida say? And nobody buys any used shoes.
And don't, okay? And don't. And, if a man talking about I don't buy no shoes, he referring to you as a shoe, okay? What do you do with shoes? You walk on any and everything on the ground, dirty, clean, all kind of stuff. And he calling you a shoe, that ain't your man, boo. Keep it pushing. More Sam, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Brother Sam says during the courtship process at a certain point, an HIV test is required. Come on now. It just has to be HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, crabs. We doing them all, okay?
Yeah, Sagittarius Goddess says, I thought they automatically do that before they married you. I'm not sure if you're talking. Yeah, they used to, because I think about it. You could go to Las Vegas and get married overnight. There's no blood test required if you're talking about that type of stuff.
Oh, you like that? I'm just saying, Herschel, I've seen what happened to these oaks out here, and they don't stand a chance. They just be womp, Queen of Diet. You says we're in the last days and it's time to get right. You better come on out. Jacob's Ascendant, how you doing? Says fully agree. Sagittarius Goddess says I thought they automatically, I thought they did too, but they used to. Ira, how you doing? He says I still have to pause about HIV tests because according to some of these HIV commercials, a person can have the disease and be undetectable. Yeah, I guess so. Which is why, as it's saying, the Nation of Islam, settle down to a good choice. Okay. Make sure that good choice is that y'all want to be in that relationship together. Somebody in bed hopping and all that other stuff. Make sure you can try. You cannot guarantee things, but if you live that lifestyle, that comes risk with that lifestyle. You liable to catch a bad one eventually. So if you settle down to somebody that's like you, then I think you have better chances. But yeah, that to me, that's scary. And what's scary is that I might end up in jail. And I say that I might end up in jail because if I get with somebody and they give me something I ain't trying to get, then I'm going to be in jail for a long time. So I just don't want to be in jail, what? Baisley, you said, don't buy the cow without tasting the milk. I don't know, I don't know what to tell you. There's some cows out there that let you taste their milk, and then when you end up becoming lactose intolerant, then you're mad. CJ and Buckhorse says, I also love Latinos. Okay. All right. CJ says luxury shoes don't allow try-ons and don't. You ain't finna be walking all over the store in these damn shoes, right? Dale says, do they have a test for herpes? Yeah, 10 Simplex 10. Is that a thing? Jesus. Hey, Pamela, how you doing? Happy Easter to you as well. Got you, Donovan. James says Stanley. James Stanley says, what about women going after men because he's cute? Men are not the initiator all the time. I agree. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes women go after men because they're cute. That's a preference. I think if you're looking for longevity, They're going after Donovan for, for conversation. But if you're looking for longevity, I think you should. I think there should be more to it than just him being cute. There's a lot of cute people out there that ain't worth nothing. Terry says, I trust no lady. Give them the test. There you go. You'll be better off. Tiffy says, yep, everyone be safe out here, no matter their age, race, gender, your partner. Yeah, pastor, because there's pastors running around giving women the, ooh, I shouldn't be scratching down there,
Yeah, and I brought that up because, to me, it just makes sense. You should treat everybody like they got HIV, but obviously we're not doing that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Facts, I feel it says women are the gateway to sex, men are the gateway to marriage. Yeah, and if you want the gateway to sex, you need to be showing me the gateway to marriage. It's just that simple.
I showed. Look, people showed it to you, and you didn't want to go through the gate.
Get somebody else to do it. CJ says they do, but y'all get the point. Ronnie says, I don't blame you, Demetra, for whacking somebody for giving you. Yeah, you have to DIE if you gave me the STD. You know what I mean? You out of here. Alicia, how you doing? You said shalom, Demetra and Donovan. Yes, there are also new STDs that these immigrants have brought over, and we are being told, we are not being told about that. Rather, he says you can get herpes from just skin to skin contact, and that's why I stay in the house. And when I'm at the gym, I wipe my equipment down to the T. You would think I was really washing it down for real, for real. Brother Simon says the blue pill, as I understand, damages your heart. Will be a great show to deal with the war on black male sexuality with holistic alternatives. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think people should take care of themselves, right? I don't know a whole lot about males' functions and all that. I've heard. But yeah, it sounds like it could be a little bit easier if, your diet changes, I guess. I don't know. CJ says most faiths don't even support premarital sex. Yeah, exactly. Pamela says, Demetra, I saw in Facebook, you saw Sinners. Was it a good movie? It was a great movie. I saw it twice. It's a great movie. And I've seen some of the conversation around it about it. Just I don't even want to get into it. I don't have the brain matter to do it. But it was a good movie. Ryan Coogler does not miss. He's good at what he does. Great movie. A lot of good messages in there. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes long, and it didn't feel like it. D Sosa, how you doing? Says, yo, I caught y'all. You caught us, but we about to get out of here in just a second. Ronnie says, I can marry you, Miss Demetra. Okay, I'm taking offers. Highest bidder. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Raven says pastors need to tell the women and men who just want sex, close the doors, ushers. Damn. Scoop, how you doing? Says cute. Don't pay the bill. Get somebody that's solid, loyal, and here long term. Totally agree with you. Cute, gravity is gonna have its way after a while. What says in these last days, it's do what thou wilt attitude, which is wicked. Okay. Tiff says, me too, Demetra. I wipe gym equipment off before and after. Yep, same here. Alicia says, look in the canker sores. Brother Steven says, I had a childhood friend go through the whole process of HIV AIDS. I scared the crap out of me. It made me not want to cheat ever. There you go. Because that person you cheating with, probably cheating with a whole lot of other people, right? Tracy says, I've been hearing we in the last days since I was a child. I'm damn near 60. You better stop. D Sosa says, not gonna lie, Tracy is bad as hell, but she probably got what? What? I don't know. What are you talking about? You talking about our Tracy? What? Oh, I'm tripping. I forgot what we was talking about. Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy Ross.
Because I thought she's talking about our Tracy. I'm like, what? Got you. I'm tripping. It's time for me to go. Tracy Ellis Ross. Got you. Says, not gonna lie, Tracy is bad as hell, but she probably got trash box not having a man at 50. Ain't a flex is telling. I mean, I'm 54. I ain't got a man, but I ain't got a man because it's not my fault. And I have a man that through no fault of my own. I promise you. It's not my fault. I just choose not to have a man now because I just cannot. I'm not trying to kill the next man I'm with. I'm not. And if I am cheated on again, I'm probably going to jail. I'm just Keep it a buck. If I got cheated on again, I would be in the orange stripes. Out here, I think they wear white. And, I'm going to jail. And he's going to hell. So I
Look,
did.
you totally skipped over my comment into Rodney Brown.
Which
I told
one?
him he's the one that says he wants to marry you. I told him, I hope you got a truck. Demetra got a caboose behind her.
He's stupid. Jerron, how you doing? He says, you guys are still on here. I charge my phone. Yeah, we about to leave, though. Facts Not Feeling says, brothers, if you want to keep the black wood tree standing, eat vegetables with every meal, don't drink alcohol, do no drugs, and regular exercise, do this and you can tame any woman. Mad Dog, it says it's cheaper and safer to keep her. Come on, you better preach. They don't listen, no. They want to be out there just bed hopping like grasshoppers. Just hop, 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 hop. Black man,
just think of the poor men who marry these women for 30, 40 years. The woman replaces the man with the children. So you got 18 years, maybe 18 to 23 years of her disregarding her husband for the sanctity of the children. And then during that time, and probably a little bit time after, he only gets his birthday, Christmas, and maybe even today, Easter, to have relations with her. Poor dude.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Christmas, your birthday, Easter's off the table, okay? Only eggs that's getting played with is the Easter eggs, okay? Maybe Father's Day, That sounds more than
and then that's what, 5-10 minutes?
Come on, bro. It's 2. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, you think about it, that's about 4 or 5 days out of the year. That's every 3 months. What more do you want from me? Tippy says, funny shoulders ain't thanking you. We in rare form. Lord have mercy. Hey, Thunder, I was wondering where you were. I thought you and, Gladys and them, y'all was, finding Easter eggs. Or they were finding your Easter eggs. I don't know. He says, I just saw that turtle and had to come in. And what turtle is that?
Dia says the husband will get more time with the wife if he contributes more to raising the children and household duties. Well, Dia, I'm going to disagree with you because a traditional man's job is to work and provide. A traditional woman's job is to raise the children. So I would disagree with you based on a traditional aspect, but I think you're coming from a more modern aspect. So I agree with you if you're talking. I wouldn't even agree with you in even talking modern, but I think you're coming from a modern aspect.
Yeah, I was about to say, what turtle you see? Oh, but you meant title. Got you. Because that's what women sometimes call them, turtles. Because, shut up. Oh, for sure, I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't get out of here. Thundy says, also, I found them eggs a long time ago. I bet you did. Odie, how you doing? Says, if you got a caboose, it moves more frequently. Unless you do a lot of squats, right? Because having a brr, 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 especially when you get older, it's a lot, I went and got me a weighted vest. Oh, I'll tell y'all a story. Y'all want to hear a story? Here we go. I got you. Got you. And I'm going to get out of here after this, okay? So last Monday, my daughter and I went walking. You walking, right? So I went to the park, did a lap, and I saw these young kids. Now it was hot outside. And then they had on hoodies and stuff. And I saw them with all their phones out. So I told my daughter, I said, they look like they about to fight because it was a car full of young people here. And there was a young car full of young people there. And my daughter's like, you think so? I said, yeah, I think they about to fight. So we turn the corner. She turns around, and sure enough, these 2 girls, they killing each other. Boom, 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 boom. So, of course, I ran over there. It was this white lady. She was in the park. She runs over there, and I run over there. I'm like, hey, knock it off. Y'all want to go to jail? And they in front of people's houses and stuff. I'm like, all these ring cameras, these girls was killing each other. And they was 2 Hispanic girls, and, most of them was Hispanic. Was one, black boy there, and I'm like, he gonna be the main one go to jail. But anyway, so I break it up. They jump in their cars and stuff, and my daughter's like, you knew. I said, because you just observing. I said, it's hot out here. Why they all got on sweatshirts and they ain't got no business being over here like that. And so the white lady goes, oh gosh, thank you so much for doing that. I don't think they would have listened to me. And there was this Asian lady. She had pulled around the corner. She's laying on a horn. Bomb, bomb, bomb. And then one of the girls was like, oh my God. Or one of the guys, I got maced. My daughter's like, yeah, because you would beat the crap out of her, whatever. So anyway, they dispersed. And my daughter's like, what if they got your caboose or whatever it is on video? I said, they ain't gonna know it's me. I'm like, that ain't me, or whatever the case is. But I don't know. Because my daughter was like, oh, don't get involved type of thing, basically like, you're kind of old. I'm like, nah, I can't let them fight. But because there was other grown-ups there was kind of watching. I'm like, nah, The auntie mama came out of me, right? And they stopped and they went about their ways. I'm like, y'all gonna go to jail. So that was just, something that happened today. I mean, last week. I just thought it was interesting. Basically says, Demetri, don't go to jail because he cheats. Plan the crime out accordingly. You won't get caught. You right about that. You right. I'm like, I don't know why your food tastes like bitter almonds. Maybe the food is rotten. Maybe it's cyanide. I don't know. Anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Donovan, you got something to say before we leave?
Yes, I want to wish everybody, if you believe in Easter, a happy Easter. And again, we got a lot of stuff coming up down the pipe. The Democrats, once again, are still doing their BS. There hasn't been any slave patrols that I've seen. I haven't seen any mass deportations of Black people being put into being deported or enslaved. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Use your logic, because midterms are coming up and the Democrats are doing everything to make sure that this president, I don't care what president it is, fails. And again, whatever's going on with this immigration stuff, we need to stay out of it, because how the hell, and maybe we'll talk about this Tuesday, how the hell, have you guys noticed these Democrats are quick to fight for a El Salvadorian citizen and everybody else, and they just want to do all this other stuff, right? But you got Black people who have convictions of marijuana from the Joe Biden crime bill in the 90s that are still incarcerated today, but the Democrats will take their asses way down to El Salvador to worry about a non-citizen when you got damn citizens right here. Keep your head on swivel. Use your logic, please, you guys. It doesn't make sense. It's a distraction. I know everybody's got an opinion on this guy, if he's here legally or whatever. Me and Demetria, we have our opinions on it. But the bottom line is, this is a distraction to keep you off of our issues. We should be saying, well, if you Democrats could take your asses down there to fight for a person that's not a damn citizen, what about these Black people that are incarcerated right here in our own country unfairly? Let's get it.
Yes, CJ says, I hope Walter wants to discuss tariffs and the supply chain. Yeah, he was going to come on Wednesday, but he was doing something and he was getting on my nerves. He wasn't home. I said, man, we're going to do this next week because, I had laryngitis anyway, too. So, yeah, he'll be on this Wednesday. But, yeah, Bernard, how you doing? Says, people don't honor God anymore. Sad. Dia, you says, Demetri, please bring Corliss on again. Yeah, I bring Corliss. Man, if she was on here today, Lord have mercy. I might have gotten a little bit of trouble. But anyway, yeah, I would just say in closing this conversation, and I had to say this to somebody earlier: want who wants you, love who loves you, right? And I think that's kind of part of the problem. We often try to be with people who don't want to be with us, and I think rejection hurts less when you accept it. When you accept that person doesn't want you, okay, great, whatever, move on. But sometimes, because they said to women a lot, y'all standards is too high. I think that's probably true for a lot of people. Your standards are too high. And I do think once you get older, you might be wanting to say, Rufus, what is it that you do now? You say you do what now? Because when you're older, you may be able to be a little bit selective. But when you're older, it's like, okay, I don't want to die alone. And I think that's probably true for most people. They don't want to die alone. But I'm going to say this. Hey, Pete, how you doing? I will say this. I don't know Tracy Ellis Ross. I get some of the sentiment. I don't agree with the toxic masculinity thing. But I do agree with not wanting people to waste your time. It's not that you don't want to be in a relationship. I do want to be in a relationship. So don't mistake me in that. Sometimes I just, I'll be joking around a lot. I do want to be in a relationship. But I don't have it in me to go through another heartbreak or a devastating experience. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm really kind of liking my alone time. Yeah, I'm 54. 54 is not old. I'm not going to die soon, I don't think. Still have a lot of life, but I want to spend it with somebody who wants to spend it with just me. And I know, there's a lot of men who say, oh, well, that ain't the way men are built. Great. If y'all like to romp around with a whole bunch of different women, say that. And I'm speaking from my point of view. I'm not saying this about all men. Just say that. But don't tell, and this is for men and women, don't tell that particular person, oh yeah, I just want to be with you. I'm a one-woman man, or I'm a one-man woman, blah, blah, blah. I don't do, and then you be out there sewing your little royal Vienna sausages everywhere. Don't get into that. Don't say you're that and you're not that. Just be honest. Because I think, and I've always said this, most people can eventually deal with you saying, hey, you know what? I don't really love you no more like that. In fact, I found somebody else. That's gonna hurt because it sucks, right? But it doesn't. What hurts worse is finding out somebody did that to you when it could have just been honest, right? So again, for me, and trust me, I've been with some, pretty good dudes that like to cheat. You know what I mean? And I know that's probably an oxymoron. A good dude that cheats, because I firmly believe there's two people. Either you're a cheater or you cheated. And maybe it was a mistake. If you're a cheater, that's just who you are. If you've cheated, maybe you made a mistake as a lapse in judgment, whatever, right? But that sucks. So I'm too old to be having a rebound from that. When I was in my 20s, man, whatever. In my 30s, man, whatever. I'm young, woo, woo, woo. In my 40s is when it really started to kick in, like, really, dude? Really? And then I noticed it took me a longer time to bounce back from that, right? And then in my 50s, I was like, surely I'm going to die. I feel like my heart is going to explode. I feel like my liver is going to jump out of my body. Oh, a clump of hair. Oh, I'm going bald now. A doctor, you say, what? Your high blood pressure is too high and it's causing your kidneys to do some things they should. Really? So imagine that if I'm in my 60s and that happens to me. Now I'm not speaking fear. I'm just thinking out loud, right? And in my 60s and Rufus is like, I find me and Glowdadine, a Glowdadine hops in my inbox and tell I took my teeth out for Rufus, and whatever, right? So surely it would kill me. So I need to be selective with who I spend my time with. You know what I mean? So I don't hate men. I love men. I love brothers. Ooh, yes, I do. But I want to love a brother that want to love me and love only me. Thank you. Anyway, I love all of y'all. Hey, Sonia, how you doing? Girl, Tracy, you better stop talking about ugly men cheat too. They do the most cheating. My ex-husband looked like a cricket. He looked like Jimmy the Cricket. And he looked like Jimmy the Cricket. And Gollum from Lord of the Rings had a baby. And maybe they cheated. One of them cheated with the thing from Men in Black. And he had a woman in every province in the United States of America. So you're right. Anyway.
Yeah, no, and I'm going to co-sign on that, Tracy. Yeah, men cheat, but the difference is we don't have the babies in a lot of cases to prove it. So.
Common Man says when men get in their 50s and are single, just get settled into being alone. You know what? I told somebody that the other day. I said, I think that men who are in their 50s and their 60s, they're probably gonna die like that. And I'm not trying to be mean. People do find love, and but I said, and there's women too that's probably like that. But as I always say, the woman is probably gonna be all right because the kids love the mama. They're gonna bring the grandkids over to mama house for Christmas, Easter, and all the holidays. And the daddy, they may go over there after they done ate all the turkey at grandma's house. They come, hey, grandpa, I just stopped by and say hello. And he's there eating that hungry man dinner. He got out the microwave by himself. And he done ran every woman that was in his life that was good to him away. And he's sitting up there, scrolling on Black Planet or Tinder, whatever they doing nowadays. Oh, anyway, there we go before I get in trouble. I'm gonna get out of here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. See y'all. I might come on here tomorrow if I have time.
Yes. Happy Easter, everybody. Please be safe. Be blessed.
Peace.